Okay, so at this point, you're practically living a Catholic life, but you're praying as a Muslim.
You hit it right on. You hit it right on. Yes.
So at what point do you say, maybe I should start looking into converting?
I am driving back from that CCE classes, which they call it Generations of Faith. Going back to that point, I knew we were going to go there. And my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter was with my wife, and she's at the time 3 years old. So my wife was babysitting. So I have them in that class. We're going back. And my daughter is really kind of like asking me very much like a pointed question. She goes, so Dad, what do you consider yourself? And I'm thinking, first of all, I know where this is leading. So why do you take us to CC if you're a Muslim?
Yeah.
I thought about it. I'm like, wait a second. That was the first time I had to think about it really hard. And I told her, I'm more of a Christian than Muslim. Besides praying as a Muslim and having a hard time sometimes with Trinity, I'm not a good Muslim. I'm not a Muslim. She looked at me and said, because I know what it takes to be a good Muslim. Because as a Catholic, you can't be Catholic and go check mark. I went to my Mass every week, but that's just a check mark. It's not being a Catholic. I'm going to stop at that. As I said, I don't want to turn it into
a Muslim bashing thing.
Yes, exactly.
No, it's not about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But did you have any friends that were Muslim at the time?
Most of my friends, especially in the city, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, most of my
so it's not like you were separated from other Muslim people.
No. We were. I had Muslim friends that we did talk about it and everything else, but I had started kind of like having my doubts. Not just doubts. I had serious flaws in it, and I could not agree with them.
Did you have any friends that converted before you did?
No.
Okay. So it's not like you followed somebody. This was your own thing.
I had a friend that had he was a Christian when I met him. And that was like about 20 years earlier. So, well, let me take that back. At that time, well, I don't know. It was earlier, much earlier than that. I remember the way I felt about him. Like, what is wrong with you? And that's the way I thought all other people would think about me. And I was correct. They did.
So when you were young, that's how you would look at people who converted.
Correct.
To Christianity from Islam, that there's something wrong with them.
That's right.
That maybe they didn't know their faith well enough, or something like that,
or even more than that. Some psychological issues.
Okay, you come to this realization that you're more Christian than Muslim. What steps do you take? Do you look into the RCIA process?
It's funny, me being me at that time. No, I did not. But I told my daughter. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about it. Don't tell your mom yet. She will get her hopes up. Next thing I know is my wife is talking to me. She couldn't help. So you could trust her all the time. This is one time that she just couldn't hold herself back. And I think maybe it wasn't her. Maybe it was my other two in the back.
In the back listening in, yeah.
So
it's like, hey, Dad's thinking about converting.
So she brings it up, and I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. And I see her eyes are like, I told you so, but she doesn't say anything. She knows better. And she goes, okay. I said, well, I'll bring it up. I'll think about it. And she knows if it is up to me, I'm not going to do that. Next thing I know is Chris, the director of the liturgy from St. Edith Stein, calling me. Hey, yeah, your wife called me. Do you want to have an appointment? I was like, come on, I told you not to.
Oh, so she took the first steps before you did.
Thank God she did.
That's hilarious. Because she knew that you were just going to sit with it and, like put it on the back burner and, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll eventually convert. Because you're practically living the life already. You're going to church, you're bringing your kids to CCE
Correct.
And everything like that. But
I think it was the right thing because now I understand. She didn't want me to die per se. Anything can happen as a Muslim, but be that willing person that wants to be a Catholic or whatever. But God is going to ask you, why didn't you take this last step?
You were right there, at the finish line. You're just a little more, right?
And it's on me. So she knew that. It's like, no, it's on me. I got to push him.
That's hilarious. How long were you married at this point?
17 years.
17 years. So Did she say anything to you at that point? Like, oh my gosh, for 17 years, I've been hoping or praying that you
It was
would
in her
convert.
eyes.
So you knew already.
No, it was an array of, I would say, emotions. Jubilance, I would say the first thing, but then also I told you so, and also let's do this.
all that together.
All in one, you could tell.